Okay, gang, I got a big video for you today. We at the Red Delta Project here, we're all about efficiency in fitness. Getting in the best shape possible is not nearly good enough. We're all about getting the most from the least. And the strategy that we use for this is using or identifying what I like to call the root cause. Everything has one root cause. Okay, losing weight, building muscle, all one single root cause. You accomplish that root cause, you get that goal, regardless of how you go about it, regardless of the exercise or the diet plan or your genetics or anything. The nice thing about the root cause is that everybody's got the same one. We're all exactly the same. That whole different things work for different people, not so when it comes to the root cause. And it's taken me years to figure out these root cause things. I just keep drilling deeper and deeper. And today, I finally figured out the root cause of everything that has to do with your muscles. Everything you're trying to do, whether you're trying to have better performance, building more muscle, coordination, flexibility, aches and pains, just whatever. If it has anything to do with your muscle, this is the root cause of it. Because I thought it was root causes for different types of things doing. No, it's all one thing. That's the nice thing about root cause, all one thing. Here's the way that I'm going to walk you through this here. These are muscle fibers. The nice thing about muscle is that it's actually very simple in its construction and from the basics, right? You have all your muscles are basically made up of muscle fibers. And the nice thing about muscle fibers is they have two settings, off and on. They know how to contract, they know how to relax. Okay? So if these are your muscle fibers, they contract, they relax. They contract, relax. Every single movement and every single thing your body physically does is controlled just on this one thing. Contract, relax, that's it. Those are your only options. Now the thing that tells muscle fibers to contract or relax is kind of like this joint piece of your nervous system. If you think of a muscle fiber as like a light bulb, okay, you can have a lot of light bulbs in a room and they can all go to one light switch. So you hit that switch and they all turn off or they all turn on. Well, this is a neuron at the end of your muscle fiber, or at the end of your peripheral nervous system. So basically when the signal hits that neuron, all of the muscle fibers associated with that neuron contract, and when the signal goes away, they relax. In some parts of your body, there's very few muscle fibers, like in the movement controlling your eyes, and in some parts, there's a lot of muscle fibers on a neuron, like in the bigger muscles, like in your legs. Okay, so here we have this neuron. Now the signal that reaches this neuron, of course, is very, very simple because it just travels through your peripheral nervous system, just like electricity along wires. Okay, yes, I'm making things simple, you anatomy nuts, but the current goes through your peripheral nervous system, and of course that joins up to your central nervous system, which of course includes your spinal cord, your vertebrae, and of course the CPU is brain. So here's how this whole thing works. Signal comes from your brain, goes down your spinal cord, branches out through your peripheral nervous system to various neurons, motor units, and those muscle fibers do what they're told to do. Okay, so this is everything that you're ever going to do with your muscle. Signal goes down, travels here, hits this collective thing called the motor unit, and everything from throwing a faster fastball to lifting a heavier weight depends on that signal. This is the root cause of everything about your muscles. Signal comes down, hits the neuron, ends with the fibers contracting or relaxing. That's it. That's the entire process. Now notice something about this. There's nothing in here about bodybuilding. There's nothing in here about supplements or programming or, different work to rest ratios or whatever. Okay? All of this stuff that we think really matters so darn frickin' much within our fitness culture, it's not here. It's not within the root cause. Now, it doesn't mean it's not important. It doesn't mean free weights versus machines. It doesn't have something to do with it. But when it comes down to doing anything with your muscles, the only thing that matters is this signal coming from your brain and getting to those neurons and the associated muscle fibers. That's it. That is the only thing you need to be concerned with. If that signal does not come from here and travel to those muscle fibers, nothing happens, regardless of what your equipment is, regardless of what your diet looks like, regardless of anything. Okay, you can take someone with nerve damage. There's a guy at the gym, he's got nerve damage in his left arm. All of his muscle in his left arm is really atrophied. It doesn't matter what his program looks like. Doesn't matter if he's using kettlebells versus dumbbells or CrossFit versus bodybuilding or what his supplement programs are or anything. That signal isn't there and it's not reaching those muscle fibers, so it doesn't matter. So there's a number of things that this teaches us as far as lessons go, which I'll explore in future videos. But for right now, the root cause that you gotta understand for anything dealing with your muscle is starts in your brain and ends in your muscle, and unless it influences what's going on in between, it doesn't matter. It's pointless and worthless, and you don't need to bother with it. Thoughts down below. Till then, be fit, live free.